Thank you, chairs and committee members. I'm Tigris Osborne, Executive Director of the National Association to Advance Fat Acceptance. I'm here to testify on behalf of our Massachusetts members and for all fat people. For 56 years, NAAFA has advocated for anyone who experiences injustice because they are fat. Anti-fatness creates systemic barriers in education, employment, housing, healthcare, and public accommodation. Size discrimination exponentially expands injustice against fat people who are already discriminated against for other identities, especially Black and brown people, queer people, and disabled people. Research by Dove shows that size discrimination harms at least 34 million Americans each year and costs millions. NAAFA co-founded the Campaign for Size Freedom because fair treatment for people of all sizes should be a legal right everywhere. But when fat people face discrimination, we are told that the solution is to change ourselves. We are especially told this today when misperceptions about drugs like Ozempic have led people to believe that all fat will eventually go away. But fat people deserve access, opportunity, and fair treatment now, as we are, not in a fantasy future where our bodies may or may not be different. The solution to injustice is not changing its victims, it is changing the injustice. Years ago, as a student in Northampton, I attended a workshop on larger-bodied women, led by Carrie Hemingway, who taught me that fat didn't have to be a bad word, and that fat people could demand equality. Carrie didn't live to see her decades of advocacy in Massachusetts result in legal changes. But I'll say her name every time I come before this body until this bill is finally passed. I hope this is the last time I need to do so. And when I come back to Northampton in May for my 30th year anniversary at Smith College, I hope to come back to a Massachusetts where body size does not determine whether my fellow alumni and I have the same rights. Please vote favorably on this bill and let 2026 be the year the act is finally voted into law. Thank you.
Thank you. I just had a quick question. Since you're part of the coalition and organization,
Yes.
Has there been any study on the impact of the children? I know that when it comes to racial discrimination and other forms of discrimination, the microaggressions, oftentimes the parents that they experience can be absorbed or internalized by the children.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, and we don't have to give the statistics now, but if there could be some studies on the impact of internalized self-hate or internalized resentment or whatever the internalization of seeing your mother or father who may be in a bigger body
Sure.
be treated as though they don't belong. I don't know if there is a study.
Well,
I'm just curious.
There's some research, and certainly there's anecdotal evidence of kids being judged based on their parents' body size and based on their own body size.
I knew the own body size part,
Yeah.
but someone had testified about that. But I was really curious about the link between the impact on children, if there's some studies or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's research that talks about how children are bullied, both, I believe that it includes when they're bullied based on their, not just their own bodies, but also association, people see their parents and make fun of them, that kind of thing. There certainly is evidence of children being separated from their parents because perceptions that their parents are bad parents, regardless of how they're actually parenting, just because of their parents' body size. So that's a huge impact area. We sometimes see in family court situations where one parent is holding the other person's body size against them, again, without evidence of other bad parenting. So there are lots of ripple effects for parents of what they're seeing in their own families. I mean, for kids of what they're seeing in their own families. And then certainly just the direct impact on kids themselves. We know that fat kids are one of the most bullied groups of kids. Some research says the absolute most bullied group. Some research says the second most bullied group. Either way, we know that in jurisdictions where they've explicitly added height and weight to bullying statutes, that has had an impact on decreasing bullying. Mm-hmm. So there are absolutely lots of ways that this impacts young people.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay.
Chair Edwards, Chair Day, and members of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to testify today. My name is Anna Ardeline, and I am here in strong support of H 1919 and S 1249, which would ban discrimination based on body size. Like many others, I came to Massachusetts for its world-class higher education, During my Master of Public Policy program at Brandeis University, I focused on weight discrimination policy, and I even wrote my thesis on this exact bill. During my research on existing weight discrimination laws, I noticed two main concerns from those in opposition that I would like to address today. So first, some believe that banning height and weight discrimination would require a complete rebuilding of all of our society. However, as we saw with the passage of the ADA, that is simply not the case. This law would not require every space to be retrofitted to fit larger people, but it would empower individuals to seek reasonable accommodations when necessary. The second main concern is about the cost of implementation. What alleviates this concern in Massachusetts specifically is that the Massachusetts Commission Against Discrimination is organized by area of discrimination, such as housing or employment, not type of protected class, such as race or gender. This means that MCAD would not have to hire an expert on this type of discrimination specifically. They can use their existing system and just add to the list of protected classes. There's no need to reinvent the wheel there. So I'd like to finish on a more personal note. While I was conducting this research as a student, I faced this issue on my campus. I needed to request accommodation because of my size. While they were definitely sympathetic, they said they couldn't help without a documented disability. My experience didn't qualify, even though the campus environment was effectively disabling to me and my body, and my experience was very different from that of my thinner peers. Now, as a Massachusetts resident, I am excited to see how my new home does what it has always done, be a shining example of progress and equity to the rest of the country. Thank you so much for your time, and I would be more than happy to share the rest of my research with you if that would be helpful.
It will be. Thank you very much. Thank you. Questions? All right. Thank you all very much for your testimony. I will officially close out this hearing.